Hey guys, make sure you grab your oatmeal, grab your egg whites, eat them right in front of the TV while you're watching me right now. I'm your trainer, Graham Seekamp, and I'm going to be giving you some great information on how to train your chest on this episode. Hey everybody, welcome back to Powerhouse Primers. As you know, if you watch this on a regular basis, I'm your trainer, Graham Seekamp. We're right here at Powerhouse Gym in Berlin, Connecticut, and you are tuning into one of our best episodes yet. Now, I know everybody's a little bit screwed up with the holidays. Maybe you missed a few workouts. I have to admit, I even missed a couple of workouts myself, but we're ready to really wham it right back at you tonight. We're going to be showing you a great routine, especially if you want to learn how to really target the very large muscles of the pectorals, the muscles of the chest. So stay tuned. Yes! I am invincible! As you guys can see, I'm seated here on a bench. This is everybody's favorite chest exercise, but I'm gonna fake you out. This is not gonna be our first exercise of our chest routine. To see how to really design the best chest workout, well, we're gonna do that. And guess what? We are not starting with the bench press. Great exercise is a little bit overused. Instead, I'm gonna show you how to really develop a great chest routine, so come with me now. All right, guys, this is exercise number 1 in the best chest routine. And what we're going to be doing is an incline chest press. Now we're doing an incline chest press instead of the flat press because most people have a much harder time developing the muscles in the upper portion of the chest. There's just less fiber there to begin with. So that's why we're going to front load it. We're going to hit it first when you've got your most energy, really overload it. And as you follow me through the routine, you'll see how it develops. All right, let's get slamming on these. As you can see with the incline chest press, you don't want to snap the weight. You don't want to lock the elbows at the top, and you don't want to have your elbow coming down lower than the plane of the shoulder. Just keep the blood in there, keep the pressure off the joints, and keep the blood in the chest. All right, guys, that was it for exercise number 1, the incline barbell chest press. Again, we were doing that so that we can keep all of the emphasis in the muscles of the upper portion of the chest that are usually a little bit harder to target. Now we're going to be moving on to exercise number 2, which is actually a combination. You're going to see in a moment, it's actually an incline fly and chest press combination. Let's take a look. All right, guys, this is actually exercise number 2. And what we're doing right now is we're actually doing 2 different exercises, but we're calling it one because this is a fly and a chest press combination. You can see I'm actually making sure that I've got about a 30-degree incline on my bench because I want to be doing an incline fly to target the muscles through the upper portion of the chest here. Remember, that's a little bit of a harder area to target for most people. There's actually just less tissue in this area than there is down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a single joint exercise, which is a fly, until we can't perform it correctly anymore. And then without taking a rest, we're going to let our elbows bend and go right into a press. You'll see in just a minute. The fly is a single joint exercise. The only joint that should be moving should be the shoulder joint. And we should make sure that we're not locking out at the top of the movement. Basically, once the hands are right in line with your shoulder, that's as high as you go, and then you start coming back down again. But don't let the elbow go lower than the plane of the shoulder. I'm going to go right into the press right now. Now, when you go into the press, we're allowed to use 2 joints, the shoulder joint and the elbow joint. So once the chest is fatigued from flies, we can usually get a few extra repetitions by going into a double jointed exercise like the press to really fatigue the muscle. All right, guys, that's 3 sets there. Now remember, you're gonna have to use a little bit less weight than what you would normally use because you're starting with a fly. That's a single joint exercise. It's gonna pre-exhaust the chest, and then you're going into your presses. So 3 sets here, separated by about 40 to 50 seconds of rest interval in between each set. And then we're ready for exercise number 3, which is gonna be the pec deck. So we're gonna head right over to the pec deck right now. just got done doing the dumbbell fly and press combination. Now that is one heck of an exercise. It fatigues the chest, it's great. Chances are you probably haven't seen too many people doing that in the gym, because let's face it, you have to suck up your pride a little bit, use a little bit less weight than you think you'd be using, but it really nails the chest and it really isolates the muscles in the top part of the chest, which we've talked about. Those are the hardest areas to hit. That's why we're doing those first in your routine, not doing stuff like the bench press, which everybody just classically does first. That's coming next. But before we get to that, we're on the pec deck. Now the pec deck is a great exercise. It's basically a fly. It's a machine version of a fly, and if you're doing it right, it's a single joint exercise. We're just gonna be moving the shoulder joint. We're gonna have all the resistance lining right up across the front of the chest. Excellent exercise. You just wanna make sure that you're not going back too far. The elbow should never be going back farther than the shoulder. We wanna keep the stress in the chest. We don't want that stress to come up into the shoulder joint. Check it out. The biggest mistake people make with the pec deck is leaning forward. You want to keep the chest up, keep the head back, and keep your elbows up in the same plane as the shoulder so that you can keep the stress on the chest and not deliver stress into the shoulder joint. All right, great exercise, pec deck right there. We did 3 sets. We did about 15 repetitions on each set, and we took about 30 to 40 seconds in between each set. Now we're ready to move on to the next exercise, which is the barbell bench. And I know all you guys wanted to do that first, but I made you wait till the very end because now we've got a lot of blood in our chest. Our chest is actually going to be a little bit tired. It's going to be harder to actually use the bench press to be pushing a lot of extra weight. We're only going to be able to use the amount of weight that our chest is able to do at this point. It's quite fatigued, but that's also why I'm having us do it at the end, because I want to make sure that we're not promoting injury. I want to just promote as much blood flow into the chest as possible. Remember, every time you're loading a muscle, you're also loading a joint. And if you start loading the muscles with excessive amounts of weight on a very regular basis, sooner or later you're going to start to develop shoulder problems. So instead of developing shoulder problems, we're developing a great chest. Let's go do it. All right, guys, this is our last exercise in our chest routine. We flipped this whole thing reversed on most people. Most people would do this first. But now since we've got such a pump going, we've been stimulating muscles, especially the muscles in the upper chest. Now we're coming to the bench press as our last exercise. We're gonna be doing 3 sets. We wanna really use a weight that we can get at least 12 repetitions. We wanna give as much blood, get as much blood into those muscles as possible. So don't be going so heavy that you can only get 5 or 6 reps. You want to be able to get at least 10, 12 repetitions here. If you can get 15, go for 15. This is the granddaddy of all those chest exercises, the one everybody wanted to do first. We're doing it last because we don't want to put extra stress on the joints of the shoulder. You can see I'm not locking the elbows, and when I come down, I'm only coming down to the point where the elbow's in line with the shoulder. That's it. Keep the blood in the chest. All right, that was it, our best chest routine. Remember, I'm your trainer, Graham Seekamp, and tune in next time for another Powerhouse Primer. Till then, peace out.
Excellent!
We're gonna do more than just teaching exercises tonight. We're gonna think a little bit about cardiovascular. We're also gonna be thinking about nutrition. And it's those 3 things all working in conjunction, which is really going to give you the set of abs that you're looking for.